Morning children, welcome back to our next maths class. Today we shall understand the concept of numbers. If you watch this whole video, you will find topic real easy. The topic will be seen natural to you. So, what's the topic for today? Yes, it's numbers. In this video, we shall explore the various types of numbers such as whole numbers, real numbers, natural numbers, rational numbers, integers, and irrational numbers. Let us go back to the kindergarten days and start with the counting numbers. Do you remember the rhyme? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I got a fish alive. Well, these numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. are called natural numbers. The counting numbers are called natural numbers. And these natural numbers are denoted by the letter N. Now, whole numbers include all the natural numbers and 0. Whole numbers include all the natural numbers and 0. So we can draw the whole number circle around the natural number circle. Integers include all the whole numbers and negatives of natural numbers. Integers include all the whole numbers and negatives of all natural numbers. -1, -2, -3 and so on. So we can draw the integer circle around the whole number circle. One important thing is to be kept in mind, that is 0 is neither positive nor negative. 0 is neither positive nor negative. Now the question is, are there any numbers between two integers? Let us specify that two integers. Are there any numbers between 0 and 1? Yes, and we use them all the time. For example, 1 by 2, that is half, 1/3, 0.7, 0.8, etc. And these numbers are called non-integers, which are known as fractions or decimals. And this entire set of integers and fractions and decimals are called rational numbers. And rational numbers are denoted by the letter Q. Any rational number can be written as a fraction in the form of P by Q, where P and Q are integers. The only restriction is Q should not be equal to 0, since division by 0 is undefined. Now, is the natural number 3 also a rational number? Let us see. 3 can be written as 3 upon 1, because we know every natural number has a denominator that is 1. It can be written as a fraction in the form of P by Q. So, 3 is also a rational number. What about 2.5? Is it a rational number? We can write 2.5 in the form of fraction, that is 25 upon 10, and if we simplify we get 5 upon 2. Therefore, 2.5 is also a rational number. Any rational number can be expressed in the form of P by Q, that is in fraction form. The only restriction is Q should not be equal to 0, and P and Q don't have any common factor except 1. P and Q don't have any common factor except 1. That is when the fraction is in its simplest form. Let us add the non-integers in the diagram. The integers and non-integers, that is fraction and decimals together, are called rational numbers. Now in this circle of or set of numbers, we can see the natural numbers are denoted by the letter N and the whole number are denoted by the letter W. Integers are denoted by the letter Z and the rational numbers are denoted by the letter Q. Let us talk more about rational numbers that are not integers. As we have learned, rational numbers are fractions represented by P by Q form. You can calculate the fraction by dividing and we end up with the decimal numbers. For example, 7 upon 10 equal to 0.7. 5 upon 2, that's equal to 2.5. 7 by 4, that's equal to 1.75. These are all examples of terminating decimal numbers. That is, the decimal digits stop or terminate after a point, because on dividing by the denominator, the remainder is 0. But there are other fractions which on dividing do not terminate. For example, 2 upon 3, that is equal to 0.666, etc. And it just goes on. So we write it as 0.6 or 0.6 with a dot or a line on the top to represent that the digit is recurring. Recurring means repeating, non-terminating, which means it does not stop. Let us take another example. 1 by 7 or 1 upon 7. So we look at the answer here. Can you see the repeating factor? That is right. It is 0.142857 recurring. Let us take another example. That is 1 by 7. 1 by 6. That's equal to 0.1666, so on. It just keep repeating. But notice that we place the dot or the bar only on the top of 6. We place the dot or the bar only on the top of 6 because only 6 is recurring or repeating. These are called recurring decimal numbers, non-terminating decimal numbers, where on dividing by the denominator, remainder is never 0 and the digits in the quotient keep repeating. Let us take any fraction. How do you determine whether the given fraction, that is 37 upon 250, is it a terminating or a non-terminating fraction? How do you determine? Let us see. The simplest form is we shall divide. The simplest form is that we have to divide. But there is another trick where we need not divide. Without division, how can we determine what type of decimals the given fraction is? Let us see the trick. Let us look at the denominator, that is 250. If the denominator has if the denominator has factors, that is 2 and 5 only, then you are going to get a terminating decimal numbers. You are going to get a terminating decimal numbers. Otherwise, it is going to be a recurring decimal number. Otherwise, it is going to be a recurring decimal number. Let us see some more examples. 7 by 4. 7 upon 4. What are the factors of 4? 2 into 2. 2 into 2. Now, our goal is to convert the denominator into multiples of 10. Our goal is to convert the denominator into the multiples of 10. Therefore, we multiply the numerator by 5 and the denominator also by 5. Otherwise, even if you multiply again one more 5 and same number by the denominator, no change. Value will be the same. We get 175 upon 100. And that's equal to 1.75. And it is a terminating decimal number. It is a terminating decimal number because the factors of the denominators are 2 and 5. But if we take 37 upon 150, what are the factors of the denominator 150? That is 2 into 3 into 5 into 5. And that's equal to 0.24666, so on. That is 0.246 recurring. So it is a recurring decimal number because look at the factors of the denominator, because we have 3 here. Since we have 3 as a factor of a denominator, surely it will be a recurring decimal number. For terminating decimal number, we have the factors only 2 and 5. The next question is, are there any numbers that are not rational? Are there any numbers that are not rational? Yes, the answer is yes. These are called irrational numbers. These are called irrational numbers. For example, root 2, root 3, cube root of 10, etc. That we shall learn in the next class. Now let us place the numbers on a number line. I hope you are familiar with the number line. We have everyday examples: ruler, measuring tape with numbers marked on it. Unlike the ruler or measuring tape, the number line has both positive and negative numbers. Here we can see the examples demonstrated. We have the natural number line. That is only the positive natural numbers 1, 2, 3. That is denoted in the number line here. So it's in the whole number line, whole numbers in the number line it is denoted, that is 0, 1, 2, 3. In integers, how do we represent? Integers are both whole numbers and negatives of natural numbers. So it is 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. as well as minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 and so on. But rational numbers, we have all integers, and between integers we have decimals and fractions. We can also visualize the number system by starting from the top. Let us see the table. Real numbers. Real numbers divide into rational numbers and irrational numbers. And rational numbers are divided into integers and non-integers. And integers are divided into negative integers and the positive integers, that are whole numbers. Again, whole numbers are divided into 0 and natural numbers. Coming back to the non-integers, that is fractions and decimals, it is divided into terminating and non-terminating. Non-terminating means recurring decimals. I hope it is clear to you all. Let us find rational numbers between two other rational numbers. For example, let us find the rational numbers between 3 and 5. The simple answer is 4. Because we know between 3 and 5 we have 4. How do we get it? Let us find the average of 3 and 5. 3 plus 5 divided by 2. Two numbers are given, so it is divided by 2. 3 plus 5 divided by 2 and we get 8 upon 2, that is 4. If you want to find more rational numbers between these given numbers, let us find the average, that is average of 3 and 4. 3 plus 4 divided by 2, 7 upon 2, and that's equal to 3.5, and 3.5 will be in between 3 and 4. Same way we will get between 4 and 5, 4 plus 5 divided by 2, and that we get 9 upon 2, and that's equal to 4.5. Now let us see some more interesting examples. Let us see some more interesting examples. Let us find two rational numbers between two fractions. 1 by 7 or 1 upon 7 and 4 upon 7. Let us find two rational numbers between these two given fractions. Let us see, notice that here the denominators are same, 7 and 7. And so easily we can write after 1 by 7 it will be 2 by 7 and 3 by 7 and then followed by 4 by 7. So we got the two other rational numbers between the given two fractions. But what will be the two fractions between 1 upon 7 and 2 upon 7? How do we find out? Here, no gap between 1 by 7 and 2 by 7. So what we have to do? We have to multiply by a number. We have to multiply by a number. We can create a gap by multiplying the number and numerator and denominator with a number. Since we need two rational numbers, we have to find out two rational numbers between the given fractions. Let us multiply by 3. That is 2 plus 1. 2 plus 1, 3. And therefore we multiply by 3 by 3. The given two fractions we multiply by 3 by 3. Why did we take 3? Because we have to find out, question is find out two rational numbers. And therefore 2 plus 1, 3 we will take. And then we multiply by 3 by 3 and 3 by 3. We get 3 upon 21 and 6 upon 21. And easily we can write the fractions that are in between the given two fractions. Let us take some more examples. Find 6 rational numbers between two fractions. Find 6 rational numbers between two fractions. Here the denominators are not equal. Here the denominators are not equal. If we want to find out between the 6 rational numbers between 1 by 2 and 2 by 3 and the denominators are not equal, what shall we do? We have to make these decimals, these fractions like fractions by multiplying with the numbers. And therefore we get it 3 by 6 and 4 by 6. And since we have to find out 6 rational numbers, we have to multiply again by, since there is no gap between two fractions, we have to multiply by 7 by 7. And we get the answer. We also know how to convert fractions into decimals and decimals to fractions. Let us talk about converting fractions to decimals and decimals to fractions. Fractions to decimals. Let us take an example. 1 upon 3. That's equal to 0.333. And that will be 0.3 recurring. 0.3 recurring. Decimal to fraction. 0.75. That's equal to 75 upon 100. And if you simplify, we get 3 upon 4. These are simple. These are very simple examples. Simple work. Easily we can convert. But more interesting question is, how do we convert a recurring decimal number into a fraction? How do we convert a recurring decimals into a fractions? Here we have a recurring decimals, 0.333 recurring. If it is 0.3, we know it will be 3 upon 10. If it is 0.33, we can write as 33 upon 100. And 0.333, we can write it as 333 upon 1000. But how do we convert this recurring decimal? That's our question. So what we can do? Let us convert. Let x be an recurring number. Here the recurring number is 0.3 recurring. So let x be 0.3 and if x is equal to 0.333 and so on. Then since we need another number with a part after the decimal in the same. Now we need to another number that we need to decimal number in the same. So let us multiply by 10. Let us multiply by 10. 10x is equal to 3.3333 and so on. And if we subtract x from 10x, we get 9x. And if we given fraction, if we subtract, we get 3. We get it as 9x is equal to 3. Therefore, x is equal to 3 upon 9. And if we simplify or divide by 3, we get 1 upon 3. I hope it is clear to you. If we take one more example, let us subtract one more example. Let us x be 1.27 recurring. 1.27 recurring. That is 1.272727 and so on. And here we have 2 digits recurring. We have to multiply by 100. Therefore, we get 100x is equal to 127.2727 recurring. And if it's minus x, we get 99x is equal to 126. X is equal to 126 divided by 99. And if you make it short or simplify, we get 14 upon 11. I hope it is clear to you. Thank you.